Hey, it's Jarena Kute here, and we are going to be discussing this major story that has taken place in the last week or so about Robert Dean Jr. Versus Nick Seratola, the owner of ViSalus. And so, if you know me, I do not like drama, and I think that we could be doing so many other things with our time opposed to wondering what in the world is going on with them over there, and why are they doing what they're doing in terms of discussing it in public view. However, I just really couldn't help but use this as an opportunity to actually kind of point out some key factors that's really, really important when it comes to being a business owner, especially being a business owner in the network marketing industry. Okay, and so if you guys aren't aware and got a chance to check out the blog or the letter that Nick Seratola has written to the team, basically informing them about everything that's going on with Robert. So I'm going to read it to you right now, and this is actually going to blow your mind. So bear with me. I'm actually reading off of my computer, right? And so it says, "Dear team, as many of you on this email head to Orlando, at least that's what the grapevine states. I wanted to wish you well should you choose to leave us. You are all good people who are only wanting the best for you." No, he's saying who only wants the best for you, for your families. "And I hope you find it where you're at. There's only so many times you can move before everyone you know stops listening. So my wish for you is that this is the last move for you again. It's been stated to several people that the deal to go to Lumu was just too good to pass up by Mr. Dean, as in his personal deal. In September 2010, Mr. Dean shared with me that in order for his team to transition 15 people, he said, to ViSalus and stay full-time and be able to travel and build and not skip a beat, he would need a large chunk of money up front. He mentioned that he had a couple $1 million offers on the table, but really wanted to be with ViSalus. I mentioned to him that ViSalus doesn't do deals, but I could probably put together a group of investors who wanted to help Mr. Dean's team and not build his team and not go backwards. I mentioned that if he was 100% sold on ViSalus and wasn't going to jump again for the next deal, waved at him, that I would put my word on the line for him. So I did. The investors proceeded to fund Mr. Dean on my word. $175,000 signing bonus to be used to fund his team and their needs and cost of doing business, etc. They also went on to give Mr. Dean an additional $175,000 for hitting production numbers over a course of time to keep his team going. This totaling $350,000 given to Mr. Dean, plus his commission over a 90-day period. Obviously, the investors' intentions were to give money to the team up front so they could get off the ground, and they could, the investor. Let me scroll down here. Sorry, guys. And so that maybe the investors would break even in a year or so, and all this based on my trust with them and Mr. Dean's word. A few weeks ago, I learned Mr. Dean was looking at companies, so I sat down with him and asked him. He vehemently denied looking at other companies. I quote, "I would never do that to you," he says. If I was going somewhere else, he says, "if I was going somewhere else, I would tell you as a friend." Interesting. Within days, I knew more than I cared to, but most horrifying thing I learned was that the $350,000 that he asked for his team and their needs and their expenses and their building of the business and traveling and flying around, ins and out, etc., never quite made it to them. There was a few people that got a few crumbs, but that's about it. Interesting, right? So then he goes on to say, I received a very sad call from one of his leaders asking me, Nick, how come you stopped funding us in December? We had the worst Christmas in our entire lives. And Rob said, sorry guys, and Rob said it was because you stopped funding us, right? So Nick is saying that he was baffled. I pulled together a wire transfer. Up to confirm that Mr. Dean received $75,000 of the payment during the first period of December, but told his leaders that he wouldn't give him. Told his leaders that we didn't give him anything. The team was mortified when they found out how much Mr. Dean received and how little he had shared. So I guess the big question is, where did all the money go? Attached is a copy of the contract Mr. Dean signed, so you are up to speed. The big question I know everyone wants to know is this: why am I doing this? Simple. My value system. Someone at some point has to stand up for what is right, and this is wrong. And I want to make sure companies, people, investors, and teams don't keep getting hurt. Okay, so that's actually the letter that Nick Sertola put on blast all over the internet. And so I'm thinking, wow, right? That could be true. However, you know, people are really, really quick to get all engulfed in drama. And the thing about it is that there's always two sides to each story. And even though I respect Mr. Robert Dean, I've heard a lot about him, and they've all been pretty great things for the most part. And I've actually never met Mr. Sertola, but I really do like the structure of his company. I like the passion that they have behind what they're doing. And so I can imagine that it could be really more than annoying for you to put your word on the line and promise that this money is going to get repaid. However, again, there is still two sides to the story. So we absolutely don't know if maybe Mr. Dean felt it was best to leave because he didn't, or the company didn't, you know, stand up to their end of the bargain. We just don't know. And so we need to be very careful when we're making accusations about people. And so one thing I know for sure is true is that Robert Dean got into the company and he produced. I mean, I know for sure that it wasn't even 6 months before he hit one of the top positions in the company. And so you really don't get to a point where companies are offering you money and seeking you out and putting money on the table for you if you're not producing. And so one of the comments that really got underneath my skin, and you may disagree, and that's cool, I'm cool with that, but he said, why are companies even offering people money anyway? Why are they offering these, you know, people deals to actually grow their company? They need to be working and growing their company from scratch just like everybody else. And it's like, why do people hold network marketing to these stringent, you know, out of the ordinary standards? I mean, it's definitely out of the ordinary in the sense that someone can come in here starting from zero, never even having any prior experience in network marketing, and they can actually make a whole lot of money. I mean, a ridiculous amount of money. And so, you know, that's really great. But the thing about it is, in any company, in any industry in the world, the top producers, the celebrities, the superstars, the go-getters, the heavy hitters make money. Your CEO makes more money than you do. In some cases, they get paid in bonuses more money than you will ever see in your salary in a lifetime. So why, when it comes to network marketing, you guys want to, or not you guys, but just some people, want to have this big issue about the heavy hitters getting paid. And if anything, you should want to get your skill set up and your game up and your value up so that the companies are asking you to be a part of their company, because they know when you get into this door and launch this company that you're going to do what you said you're going to do. Now, about him leaving before it was time, about him on the money back, well, that's a situation that they're going to have to work out and take the necessary means to do so. However, I know one thing for sure is that Robert Dean has done the one thing that I want to talk about today, and that's branded himself. And so what happens, a lot of people get into this industry, get into their own business, I don't care if it's network marketing or not, and you fail to brand yourself. And so that's what he did. Now, Mr. Dean can go to any company in the industry and have a team in place and people that are going to follow him, because he is not Robert Dean, Mr. Visalis. He is not Robert Dean Montague. He is Robert Dean. And so people know who he is regardless of what company he's with. So he's actually branded himself as a product. And so people like the product that he produces, and he's able to go from company to company if he wants, and nobody wants to really jump from company to company, I don't think. I mean, each time you make a change is bad, no matter if it's good in the long run or not. It's still bad. You're still going to lose some people and hurt some folks. But the key here is that he branded himself, and that's something that you have to learn how to do, because I know the majority of you out there are not doing. All right? And so if, in fact, you do want to add value to yourself, so that people will follow you no matter what company that you're with, because everybody more than likely will end up changing their company a few times, because the timing is gone. The timing is just bad now. Your company's been up for, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And so you just don't have the opportunity to make the money that you used to have. You might leave your company because, your upline is just, who knows? They're disrespectful. They don't give you any support. Who knows why people leave their companies? And that's not a good reason, but people leave because of that. And there's a number of different things. So be careful out there judging people for the very same things that you might end up doing. And if you don't do that, you're going to end up doing something where somebody's going to complain and it's not going to set well with someone else. And so brand yourself. And that's one thing I love about being an internet marketer, because before I became online and started to be an internet network marketer, and all that is just utilizing the internet to do things that I couldn't ordinarily do offline. That's not to say that I don't still go offline and build my business one person, one deal at a time. We're just utilizing the internet to market and do things that are not even humanly possible offline, right? And so branding yourself is key. And number 2, generating yourself leads. And you're not just generating leads for yourself like Robert Dean did. He has leads, but he has people that know him, that like him, and they trust him. And so it doesn't matter what the product is. It doesn't matter what the company is, these people are going to follow him. And that's one thing that I learned when I came onto the internet, is that people are not doing business with the company. The people are doing business with you. And so by learning how to market your company online, you're going to have coaches like myself that have a wonderful system set in place that is going to teach you how to actually make new friends, build yourself and posture yourself as a leader, and offer some tools and skill set that you can teach your entire team, or at least the ones that are willing to do the work. And you guys can actually grow a massive organization by branding yourself and getting leads that already know you, they already like you, and they already trust you. All right? And so if you want more information on how to do that, I'm willing to share with you the information. And so I'm going to actually leave the website that I want you to check out. It's one that I'm using right now to help me build an organization and to help me coach the people to learn how to do this, how to gather leads, 10, 20, and depending on what type of product or service that you have and how you go about marketing it, you can get, hundreds of leads within a day. All right. And so it's definitely something to invest in. So while we're worried about what Mr. Robert Dean is doing, and while we're pissed off at him because he's getting paid and getting favored, remember, he did the work, but he's doing some things that are right because he has a long history in the industry of network marketing. And I'm sure Mr. Seratola does too. I mean, he's over there in ViSalus doing his thing. And so we're going to leave their tiff to them, but we definitely want to take this opportunity to really learn some key factors that probably your upline is not even teaching you. And so, like I said, if you are looking for someone to help you learn how to change your mindset, how to build your business online, how to get leads and turn your leads and your online friends into relationships and distributors, definitely let's talk. All right. And so the website is firstgenerationmillionaire, no E at the end.com. I'll leave it on the end. And with that said, take care, friend, and take charge. Bye.